The film follows the story of a young girl whose life takes a drastic turn when she loses her phone. A man takes it and makes her life unbearable. This one careless moment deeply affects her personal and professional life. Nami has a thriving social life on her social media platforms. She works as a photographer and enjoys life in both the real world and online. One night, while heading home on a bus, she accidentally drops her phone. A man picks it up, but Nami is too drunk to remember what happened. The next morning, we meet the man who picked up her phone, Junyoung. Just as he's about to eat breakfast, he gets a call on Nami's phone from her friend. Junyoung answers using a pre-recorded woman's voice, pretending he found the phone and wants to return it. Nami's friend visits her home and finds her still drunk. She tells Nami about the phone and urges her to contact the person to retrieve it. Nami calls and arranges to meet at the cafe where she helps her father. She has no idea the person on the call is actually a man, tricking her with fake voice recordings. When Nami gets to the cafe, she receives a call saying her phone was dropped on the way and the screen broke. It was left at a repair shop and the repair costs were already paid. She only needs to pick it up. Following the address given, Nami arrives at a shabby building that houses a mobile repair shop. She meets a man wearing a face mask and cap to hide his identity. He gives her a form to fill out, which also asks for her phone's security password. Nami waits while Junyoung works on her phone in the back, but instead of just fixing it, he secretly installs spyware on it. Nami takes her repaired phone and leaves, unaware she is now being watched. Through the phone's camera, Junyoung tracks her every move, where she goes, who she meets, and where she works. He also reads her texts and listens to her conversations, gathering information to stalk her and separate her from her loved ones. At night, he even collects private details about her life. Meanwhile, Junyoung's father, Jiman, a police detective, begins discovering bodies in a spot his estranged son used to visit. The evidence makes him suspect Junyoung could be involved. He checks his wife's phone and finds messages between her and Junyoung. With Junyoung's address, Jiman goes to his apartment and finds notes, multiple phones with photos of the victims as wallpapers, and plant food similar to what was found with the bodies. As Jiman films the evidence, Junyoung returns home and senses his father is there. He starts sending Jiman pictures of him taken from a distance to scare him. While Jiman is distracted, Junyoung destroys all the evidence in the apartment and escapes. Junyoung keeps appearing in Nami's life in different ways. He goes to her cafe and charms her by asking for a plum juice her father doesn't normally serve. Later, he meets her again, pretending to buy a music CD, and gives her his business card. Through these meetings, he earns her trust, so she doesn't suspect he's the stalker. One night, Nami notices someone updated a private account she keeps anonymous. A photo she posted of a colleague includes offensive comments, which ruins her professional reputation. This leads to her getting fired, shortly after receiving a promotion. Later, Junyoung offers to help Nami figure out who hacked her phone. He explains how spyware works, and Nami naively believes him. He even convinces her that her close friend might be behind it. When Nami confronts her friend, it causes a devastating rift in their relationship. Although her father finds Junyoung's behavior strange and warns her, Junyoung secretly listens to their conversation, keeping himself one step ahead. Nami ignores her father's concerns. Jiman and another detective visit Junyoung's repair shop to investigate. They find it in complete disarray, with papers and devices scattered everywhere. Around the same time, Nami smashes her phone in anger and goes to the shop for repairs. She learns about the case from the detectives and agrees to help them track Junyoung. Nami contacts Junyoung, and he comes to her apartment. Jiman and his partner wait outside, hoping to catch him. Jiman assumes the killer is his son, Junyoung, but when he finally sees him, he begins to doubt if this person is really his son. They hadn't been in contact for years, which adds to Jiman's uncertainty. This doubt is cleared up later. After the killer escapes, the detectives meet Nami and decide on a plan to track Jiman's location. They advise her to stay at her father's house for safety. At her father's house, Nami finds him fast asleep and decides not to disturb him, but she later realizes he isn't in bed and searches for him. She finds Junyoung waiting in the living room, angry that she ruined his plans. He ties her up in the bathroom, where her father is already tied to a bathtub full of water. Junyoung knocks Nami unconscious and leaves her there. After locking Nami and her father in the bathroom, Junyoung finds a note in the hall that says, "No texts, only calls." He suspects the police are close and looks outside to confirm. Jiman soon enters the house with his partner and starts fighting Junyoung. Despite the confrontation, Jiman still isn't sure if this man is his son. The killer, however, insists he is Junyoung. Jiman searches through the killer's notes and finds one labeled 0, detailing Junyoung's identity. He realizes the killer isn't his son, but someone who murdered Junyoung and took over his identity. The truth leaves Jiman devastated, and he points his gun at the imposter. Meanwhile, Nami regains consciousness, grabs another gun, and shoots the killer, in anger. With the killer dead, Nami feels safe again. But, while spending time with her father, she notices someone watching her, with a camera. This suggests that the danger might not be over. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the story, please follow or subscribe, and don't forget to like, share, and comment. Your support means everything and helps me create more great content.